Hi, this is Jason Molesky. In this example, we'll take a look at type 1 and type 2 errors. Potato chip producer and its main supplier agree that each shipment of potatoes must meet certain quality standards. If the producer determines that more than 8% of the potatoes in the shipment have blemishes, the truck will be sent away to get another load of potatoes from the supplier. Otherwise, the entire truckload will be used to make potato chips. To make the decision, a supervisor will inspect a random sample of potatoes from the shipment. The producer will then perform a significance test using the hypotheses, the null hypothesis that p equals 0.08 against the alternative hypothesis that p is greater than 0.08, where p is the actual proportion of potatoes with blemishes in a given truckload. For this problem, let's describe a type 1 and type 2 error in the setting and explain the consequences of each. Well, recall that a type 1 error occurs if we reject the null hypothesis when that null really is true. That would happen if the producer finds convincing evidence that the proportion of potatoes with blemishes is greater than 0.08, when in reality the actual proportion is 0.08 or even a bit less. As a consequence, the potato chip producer would send that truckload of acceptable potatoes away, which may result in lost revenue for the supplier. Furthermore, the producer will have to wait for another shipment of potatoes before producing the next batch of potato chips. Now also recall a type 2 error occurs if we fail to reject the null hypothesis when the alternative is actually true. So in this case, that would happen if the producer does not find convincing evidence that more than 8% of the potatoes in the shipment have blemishes, when that is actually the case. That is, we really have a bad batch of potatoes, but the sample we selected doesn't indicate that, or doesn't give evidence of it in this particular case. As a consequence, the producer uses the truckload of potatoes to make potato chips. More chips will be made with blemished potatoes, which may upset customers. For some additional practice with type 1 and type 2 errors, try exercise 21.